friends. My name is Penelope Chatterton, and I have a good friend sitting next to me named Vicki Poppy. We've been talking about how far we go back, and it's a little scary. It's been a long time. I just gave her 15 shows from the past, and my hair was red, and yours was black.
Yes.
You're still holding tight, and we're going to talk about some fun today, because this is Vicki's title. Life is fun, God is fun, and how did you get to this title?
You asked me a question.
Yes.
And I answered it.
Yes.
Because I live by the prompt, the inner prompt.
The prompt.
The prompt, the inner prompt. That's where all the fun is, because what happens is life is a surprise.
Yes.
So I didn't know, Penelope,
It
when
was
you asked. That's what came out. And that is what I'm dedicated to.
That's what you were going to talk about today.
Yes, it is.
And
yes.
you live moment to moment, and you take your head slaps. And
I do.
And you expect it, and you listen above all.
I do.
Do our friends need to be a little quiet to be able to hear that still small voice, or?
Well, they just have to desire hearing it above the other chatter.
Okay.
And it does help to be quiet. But I think the real test is to hear it amidst everything.
Yeah.
And to just, it's like, it's a lifestyle of really turning in and hanging out. I hang out with the Holy Spirit and Jesus.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of guys.
I tell my friends you do your laundry with Jesus.
I do.
And have lunch with Jesus.
Yes,
and,
wash the dishes, cook, drive, break down. I broke down yesterday. About to break down today.
Oh, no. You'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all a surprise.
Yeah. You have knowledge, and I like to go to the word knowledge because it's
Okay.
an infinite way word,
Yes.
which helps us to say, what do you mean? How does she know that? Because it's the truth. Maybe we can use another word for knowledge. It's just the truth.
Well, that's good, though, because knowledge is not perceptual, and it
Right.
didn't come from learning.
Right.
It did come from finding this place inside and somehow dropping into it and then living from it.
Yeah.
And then it comes with a knowing. It's like comes with a knowing.
Yeah.
And there's no self-doubt in it,
Yeah.
because in the knowing, I know I'm God's little girl.
Yeah.
I'm God's child, and he adores me.
Yes, he does.
And he does. He loves me so much. I love that. But he loves everybody. And I felt that my
Watch your
only
mic. There you
work
go.
is to help other people, my brothers and sisters here,
Yeah.
just know how much fun he is
Yeah.
and how he loves us all.
You know, one of the things I've been reading in the Joel Goldsmith material is, if you really want it,
Yes,
your intention has to be pretty
it has to be
pretty
everything.
focused. Discipline of soul.
Yeah.
He uses that word, and I don't mind getting that head slap. Okay, yes. Yeah, my intention, that's all I want.
Right.
That's all I want. I live for just that.
Me too, but I know in my own life and in many, there are a lot of other things that come up when you say that's all you want. Everything else is going to come to the surface to let it go.
Yeah.
So it's not an interference anymore.
That's right.
So,
Yeah. Well, and then when those layers come up where, what you want to hear is being clouded over, or maybe a mesmerism crops in,
Right.
you're prepared to understand that you're going right back to knowledge.
Yes.
You're going right back to that. And Course in Miracles, it's one lesson after another
Right.
of the shift.
It is. It's all a shift. It's
Or
a
the
shift.
click.
Yeah, the click, right? That's what
I love
Lisa's saying.
I love
Me
these.
too.
Yeah.
Because it's that same thing. It's shifting from perceiving to, wait a minute, I want to know the truth.
Yeah.
Let me step back and get centered again. I'm not out here being alone and separate running my life.
Yeah.
I live with God.
Yeah.
I work for Jesus.
Yeah.
What do they want to do with me today? I don't know, but I know whatever they do with me is fun. It's fun, and it's a surprise, and it's gentle, and it's
So you check your
kind.
perception. You
All
want to make
day.
sure where it's coming from.
Right.
Or if it's an old Vicki that's looking at something from an old tape.
Right.
Or is it, so if it is.
So I bring it right into this inner altar and say, look at
Be
me.
gone.
Yeah. Get behind me, Satan. It's like, I don't need to have those feelings or judgments, but I really do give everything over to the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
I really give him everything.
Yeah.
Even before I get rid of anything, I say, this judgment or hurt or feeling is coming up. You know what to do with it. And then I'm so happy to leave it there because I know that he takes it and leaves me back in union again.
Yeah.
And from union is where knowledge is.
The most important thing in that word, union. You are part of the oneness.
Yes.
You are connected. You have everything.
Right.
That's interesting when you think of of what we have. We
Right.
have the universe, we have everything that everything.
It all comes from within. And one of the biggest spiritual detours is, I think, for many, and myself included for years, you know, becoming or getting there or healing and undoing forever and ever.
Yeah.
And it's an undoing a story that just wasn't so when the shift was always there. What's his name? Ram Dass, Be Here Now. How many years ago was that? Before I knew the Course in Miracles, was that 50 years ago? But wasn't that the whole thing? Be here now.
Yeah. Don't have to unravel it. You don't have to suffer through it.
No
You
solving.
Don't have to, no solving. It's not there.
Nope.
That sounds pretty simple. Can we help our friends that are watching us?
Okay.
How did we get there? I don't. For me, it was I had a lot of loss. I had a lot of abandonment. I had a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And it sends you to the drawing board when the only field that's left is within.
Right.
When there's no place else to go because you've exhausted all those paths that the earth plane or whatever, as human beings, we were taught is this is what's real.
So this is the difference, right? I think historically we've come through a path where people come to God out of desperation. AA programs, a lot of these spiritual programs.
Yep.
People didn't get what they were looking for, what they wanted. They had betrayal, all this other stuff. Therapy didn't work, so they did spiritual
grief counseling.
Grief counseling, all that didn't work. But it did ready them to a point where finally they wanted only one true thing.
Yeah.
They really wanted to be happy.
Yeah.
Really happy.
Yeah.
No matter what it looked like.
That's fun to think about.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
When you really just want, that's what peace is.
Yeah.
When you just really want to be happy and peaceful and you don't care how it shows up.
Yeah.
That,
and surprise, I like the idea that
I do too. Sacred surprise. My girlfriend coined that. Mary Beth.
I like that.
I do too.
Sacred surprise.
I live by sacred. Even the Pope the other day, this was about, maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
He was giving one of his talks. I love Pope Francis.
Yes.
So Pope Francis.
He's making it.
He's really, now this is a guy that knows thy will be done. That's all we have to say and be present to the prompts of spirit.
Yeah.
Whatever you call them. Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
high self, low self, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, everyone's afraid of God's will, but God's will is a happy surprise.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great
That's
coming
beautiful
from him?
Yeah.
But it's true, that's what it is. So now, with all of my heart, I feel like there has been so much healing and awakening, awaken the dream finally, with a collective of us, that many can come where we are through shifting more quickly through joy, through examples and participating in playful, joyful, whatever's going on, whatever unfolds.
Yeah, consciousness has been raised.
It has.
And it's going to continue.
Right.
And, I remember in the course we used to talk about the elastic and, with the media and with the way the world is, we're hearing more about the negative, but the positive is doing so well. I wish we heard more about that, but we know.
Right.
We know. And it's almost a gift to have all that stuff that we don't want to go to, that hurts. Anyone else suffering, we have to just go to the truth, the happiness.
We do. So this is something particular to the Course in Miracles, although Joel Goldsmith does a lot about this also.
Yeah.
It's how we're seeing something.
Yeah.
What he says, and Jesus does, and all of the Eastern traditions, the whole idea of what we're seeing in form and time and space as pain and suffering, honey, it ain't so.
Yeah.
It just isn't so.
Right.
And instead of trying to figure out, how are we going to take care of this, if each of us goes back to the center where the answer is, where knowledge is, we will be prompted in our daily life what each of us is to do, and the supply will be fully replenished because it's replenished in us, which is the only source of supply.
Yeah.
And then however it spills out in time, it will spill out as remedy that brings kindness and peace and sustenance. To everyone.
I love the variety of spiritual crusaders that
There's
are out
a variety.
there. I mean, they're just coming out in droves, doing some really wonderful things that they love, that they may have been told, nay, that's not you. But when they finally just realized, I am here to serve, what is it? And they dare to do it. And it brings out the best in them, and it makes them happy, and it pulls their talents together.
Right.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. And most of those souls who have gotten to that place prior to this were in convents or on holy mountains by themselves. They weren't smack dab in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And we're everywhere.
Yeah.
We're in every tradition, no tradition, on pulpits, on soapboxes.
I know.
We're everywhere.
I know. They are found everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. God's will is my will. Whatever you want, Spirit rules.
Yeah.
Wherever.
Yeah. Now, tell me about this, because Joel is a private soul. He
Okay,
sort of
yeah.
wonders about whether we should share our miracles with everybody. And I, you know, there are some things that I'm not sure I go a little beyond certain concepts, but I kind of do. Because if it's not heard in the right, I mean, I've shared something wonderful.
Yeah.
And then I will know where maybe that's not the appropriate place, but and other things where, yes, we're whole, complete, and perfect physically, but once in a while, Spirit will direct me to a doctor.
That's
and
right.
I have to just sort of say, well, I don't, with the Christian Science background I have, that's okay with me.
Yes.
I mean, do you see where I'm breaking off a little bit?
I
Where
do.
if Spirit is, that's
it. But you're not, because that's all Joel said.
Yeah.
Go as guided.
That's true.
Go as guided. And for me, same thing. I rarely use doctors, but I do, because I go as guided.
Yeah.
And who knows what unconscious beliefs I'm holding that I'm brought into a certain scene so I can release those beliefs because I had willed those beliefs. And in order to let go of that belief, I had to look at it again.
Yeah.
So I don't judge where I'm guided. I just
That's
don't
a good
look
point.
where it's taking me. I just say, I'm only guided today.
Yeah.
To go to a doctor or tell a story. Go as guided.
Yeah. So this is available to everyone.
All the time.
All the time. Do you want to tell our friends a little bit about Open Doors? Because they're seeing your website.
Okay.
And maybe you'd like to share this new endeavor that you're having while
that's
you're
good.
on.
While I'm on. So Open Doors it's a few of us who've been Course in Miracles students lifetime,
Yeah.
half my life anyway, and we came together as a body to give and to serve, and collectively with that one goal. So I guess 17, 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, we're nonprofit. We don't raise money. We don't fundraise. We don't do any of that because we know the source of supply is within. We take whatever is presented to us by unfoldment and share it.
Yeah.
So we do a host of events, many at our home in Quincy.
Your home.
Yes,
Yep.
we have one coming up. Gary Renard, have you had
Yes,
Gary
of
on?
course.
So
no,
Gary's,
he has not been on here.
oh no, I'll call, if you want.
I'd love to have him on.
All right.
Oh, that would
so
be
he's coming, we're having him at Open Doors May 3rd.
Okay.
And so, but what happened at the last meeting, we were all at this, we do a, big whatever meeting.
Yeah.
And everyone said, well, what's next? What do we want to do? And no one had anything. And I like that because personally, I'm tired of talking. I just
And
wanna
organizing.
play. Yes. So I was glad no one had anything. So about a week later, I really got an inspiration, and I called Bob, who is our fearless leader.
Yeah.
Very open-minded, and I said, Bob, let's do a series of shows. I felt like, what's her name, Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney in the backyard. Let's do shows. Let's do shows. Let's bring everybody into the kingdom by being in the kingdom and having that Christ radiance, and by singing, dancing, whatever anyone's talents are.
Yeah.
And invite those to come into a healing environment. And because when you come into immediate joy, when any singer or author or anything is speaking from their soul, their Christ,
Yeah.
you're in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And when you listen, you're communicating,
Yeah.
you're joined,
Yeah.
that's the kingdom.
That's right.
That's time out from the ego. And your ego hurts and desires and all those,
Yeah.
they just kind of
Yeah.
fade out. I like that.
Let's play. And you're so out of yourself when you're into theater.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I still got a group. I'm still singing and
Yeah.
dancing. You're just not here
Right.
when you're doing it.
Right.
You're just not here.
Right.
So you're starting a program, a
So
series.
we are. We in fact, we're launching it next Wednesday. We're having the swing band, the Winokur Brothers, presenting the Gershwin Brothers in our living room. So it's going to be dinner and a show. I'm cooking. And
You're cooking for everybody?
Yeah, it won't be, whatever. And it'll be fun, though. It's what makes it fun. It's like I love to do whatever I can do, set the tables and make the room ready and
Yeah.
make it all pretty.
Yeah.
And then I'm so grateful that I know brothers who play their instruments, who sing from their soul, from heaven.
Yeah.
It is what on earth as it is in heaven is.
Yeah.
And that I want to invite everyone to come and come into that space, because it's so significantly different than ego space of thinking, even the ego space of doing workshops and thinking about all these principles.
Oh, you're saying something that's so important to me. I've been allergic to them for 20 years.
Me too. I stopped doing them.
Yeah, I won't go.
No, I can't do them either. I cannot.
What for?
Because they keep you out of the experience of the kingdom by talking about the kingdom.
Yeah.
Here, let's talk about it. I said, well, let's just go into it.
Yeah.
Let's live there together
That's
for a
an
moment.
interesting, because there are places you can go where people talk about God, and you read stuff and you sing stuff, but you know, I want to be in the presence.
Right.
I don't want to. I want to be sent home so I can be there.
Right.
Yeah. So, food for thought.
Food for thought.
So we don't represent anything particular, religiously, spiritually. We're just.
I work for Jesus.
That's it.
That's it.
You're employed.
I am. Fully employed, good benefits. They cover all the details. I like that.
And you know what? There are lots of mystics running around that people don't know about.
Yes, there are.
And I like to think that everyone's just doing the work.
In knitting circles.
Yep.
In quilting circles.
That's
our
right.
friends.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brother Lawrence, remember Brother Lawrence? Practicing the presence.
He was one of the very first when I was a
Me too.
teenager. Isn't that interesting?
Backyard mystic.
Yep.
Can I tell you a little story?
Yeah. And Meister Eckhart?
Oh, Meister Eckhart. Oh, how about Messiah Eliade?
Yeah.
We're dropping names. Oh, so let me give you my favorite quote. You'll know this. Teilhard de Chardin.
Yeah.
After man has mastered the winds, the waves, the tides, and gravity, man will harness for God the energies of love, and for the second time in the history of the world, man will have discovered fire.
Wow.
I heard that when I
did
was...
not know that.
Yeah, I was 12 or 13, and it was knowledge. I knew it true, and I knew that was my life's work.
Yeah.
That fire has to go like wildfire of our Father's love.
Yeah.
And how fun it is.
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. I can see how much that meant to you.
Yep.
And you've never forgotten it.
No.
Well, you get up and you say, let's go. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to go see Penelope, and I get to see Vicki.
Right. Thank
We
you.
go back. You know, it's funny how we just...
Penelope, when did we meet? How did we meet?
We had 20 Women of God that we did.
Yes.
I don't know. I started producing in 92. 92.
And I was probably here in 94. 95, maybe.
Yeah. And I had a series that went through A Course in Miracles for a while, but
Right.
that's all I did.
Right.
And now Awaken the Dream just feels like anything goes, anybody can show up.
Right.
It does not have to represent any school of thought. It's about mystics coming together, just loving their connection. Loving being loved above all. Loving knowing somebody knows. They're never alone.
No.
Just never alone.
And we are called into action now. You know, I have, and I see many of us, have been doing this work and living it privately, but I know we're being called now to join and to give. Give of ourselves, give of what we see, to see truly, not see the illusion of despair, but to see through all of those appearances to the light that we all share in, and not be fooled by any appearances. But we're being called to active duty. And I don't think in the history of time there has been a collective of awakened souls like there are now. Mystic here, mystic there, but not a whole, you know, whatever, a lot that have from many traditions.
Yeah. Didn't Joel say something about joining hands around the globe? There was something about his foreseeing. Because he's just so much more alive today than he was. And I still think of him bopping around on his plane from here to there to England.
And he had so much fun.
He did.
He enjoyed everything.
He loved his students.
He never asked for a penny.
No.
He never wrote a book, except in a different way. He never organized anything.
No.
It was all brought to him. That's what we're being shown, so that we have to give. Because love has to go forth and extend and be active. But we can't go from the old models. I have to fundraise, I have to organize. Those are not models.
Jesus didn't do that.
No, and we cannot either.
2 or 3 gathered on the hillside was the name of his church. That was church. And wherever I go, anyone want to hear me? And a lot didn't understand.
That's right.
I mean, but he knew who was guiding him. He knew who was speaking. He knew everything. He was phenomenal. Do you think he studied the Eastern traditions? I mean, there are some debates about.
I don't know.
You know, they say he might have gone to India for a while, or
I don't
it
know.
sort of fits for me to think that really what he got was he really went for it. He
may have. What I think was the predominant influence in his life, I think it was his mother.
Do you?
I had a meditation once, and Mary said to me in my heart, I got this whole understanding, and I'm Catholic, so I understand the doctrine, but this was different. This was an immediate communion, and she said that her will had never been separate from the Father. She was not one of the separated ones. Her mind had always been whole, and that she was playing her part in the atonement, in the awakening, by coming in time, embodying one will, God's will, and that she was the anchor and the reflection for Jesus, because he was one of the separated ones, as we are.
Yeah.
But she was not.
She was not.
No, and I mean, that's what came to me.
Yeah.
And it fit. Now, whether he went here and there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We are only to go where we are guided.
Yeah.
But he had a reflection in her of the Holy Spirit so that he could stabilize around that.
Yeah.
I feel like that was her playing her part. And you see how little she said.
Yes, that's true.
Just in the background, a presence.
Yes.
But an active presence of giving and loving.
Yeah, they were connected, as I recall.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. What an amazing journey.
Yeah.
What do you think he's doing?
I guess he's working with all of us, holding hands, because nobody leaves until we all leave together.
All right.
As long as one soul believes that they're separate and guilty, or separate and wanting something else, we're all hanging around. So we're just saying, let's get it together, guys.
Yeah, I see what you mean, though, about the collective, getting all of us together. I like where you're going.
Yeah,
and I like
do too.
The money thing. We're not getting into fundraising, organizing.
No. We're getting into being right where we are, taking whatever comes to us. This is the how-to practical for you guys that are practicing. Whatever comes, you bring it here to that space where you're connected, and leave it there.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Yeah.
These aren't complicated directions.
That's so well said.
And then follow the guidance that comes. The guidance may be go take a bath. It may be go have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
It may be call someone. It may be write a love letter to someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no comparing or judging, and there's no foretelling it.
Yeah.
We have to be authentic to the moment and to the present guidance. That's it.
Yeah. The still small voice, it never leaves us.
No.
Morning, noon, and night.
No.
Even in the middle of the night, if I wake up, I get right on.
Me too.
Yeah, I love that time.
I do too.
What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we going? What are we doing today?
Why that dream?
It's a surprise.
Why did I lose my keys?
Right. Oh, right. I had that happen the other day.
You did?
I did. And you know what? I got an answer right away. The answer was because you always get mad at yourself, and you think, you get mad at yourself, and I do. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I moved too fast. I talked too fast. I'm too fast.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh my gosh, that's nothing. I don't have to be mad at myself. Within 2 seconds, the answer came. I knew what to do, and actually it was my son. I called him. He came over. He knew exactly where they were. So the answer wasn't given to me. They were buried in a plowed snow bank.
No.
He went right over to it to put his hand in the snow bank.
He didn't.
He pulled out the keys and brought them to me. I was at TJ Maxx in the store. He said, here, Mom, here are your keys. And he was there for 10 minutes, walked away, and said, that was all a miracle.
We have 4 minutes to go. But I had the dream about losing the keys, and then I realized I wasn't supposed to go anywhere.
See?
What came to me was, your car isn't going anywhere.
Right.
So, and that answered something. That answered something for me. So, we can recommend all kinds of studies for our friends who are watching who may say, well, what would we read?
Oh, I have one.
Yeah.
This really helped me 2 years ago. It's a book by Michael Singer. It's called The Untethered Soul.
Ah.
Read chapter 15 if you don't read anything else.
Okay.
Chapter 15 is on happiness. Now, I haven't read it in a while.
Okay.
But when I read it 2 years ago, or a little bit more, 2.5, that minute I made a commitment to happiness. I said, no matter what, happiness is my path.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
And no matter what comes, I'm not going to drop happiness, because happiness means God has a fun answer for me,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be willing to accept it.
Yeah. So if our friends said to you, what would you recommend?
I would recommend two things. The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Singer, S-I-N-G-E-R?
Yes, and I would recommend Lisa Natoli's 40-day plan.
Okay.
Her plan is exquisite. It's simple, it's fast-paced. It may not be for everyone, but it introduces in the most comprehensive synthesis of a presentation the journey from believing you're separate to letting go of the past, to listening and being present, and to standing up, spending your life giving and loving, that I've ever seen. And it's free, and it's online. And the next program starts May 1st.
Okay.
It's Lisa Natoli.
I will have her back.
Okay, and she can talk about it.
Yeah.
She had 1,000 people do it. She offers it free starting January 1st. It ends in another 2 days.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the most fun thing I've ever done. I am hysterical every day. Oh my God. It's so
you're
much
following
fun.
it?
Oh, I did it. I have to, because I cannot recommend anything I won't do myself.
Course.
And I have 24 people, friends of mine, doing it.
Oh, fantastic.
It's fantastic. It's so much fun.
You know, well, thank you for that tip.
Okay.
And for Gary Renard.
And Gary will be here May 3rd. I will talk to him.
Connect us.
Yes.
But you are infectious.
Oh,
because you
thank you.
look radiant. But pink is perfect.
Thank you.
You're radiant and happy, and you're like a little kid.
Yeah.
And I've never seen you so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And I can't thank you enough for sharing with us, because our friends, I'm sure, are very excited, because you're happy. You're glowing, as Joel might say.
I am.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it's my life's work to let everyone find out they're happy too.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to find you really in our last minute, Open Doors,
Open Doors.
Can they communicate with you?
Yeah.
Okay, Open Doors Classroom.com.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friends, for joining us on Awaken the Dream. It's such a pleasure to have Vicki back, and we'll have her back again. Thank you for joining me. Talk soon.